Hello, my name is Somani, and today I'll be presenting on the role of oncology related student interest groups in medical student knowledge and interest in radiation and medical oncology. To give you some background and context into this before we go into a research question, many medical students have limited exposure to radiation and medical oncology during earlier on in their medical education, particularly in their pre-clerkship phase prior to clinical rotations. This is an issue that's further compounded by the fact that many medical schools are moving towards shorter and shorter pre-clerkship phases, so it makes it difficult for students to gain this exposure prior to entering clinical rotations and residency application season. This has also led to a decreasing number of radiation oncology residency applications year to year as well. So, what can be done to address this? Well, one avenue is the oncology related student interest groups, or OSIGs. These student interest groups provide medical students with opportunities for mentorship, research, and clinical exposure through structured networking, events, and activities. So, how in fact do these OSIGs actually impact medical students' knowledge, interest, and exposure to the fields of radiation and medical oncology? Well, we aim to study this through a mixed method survey of 25 first through fourth year medical students in two oncology student interest groups, one being for radiation oncology and one being for medical oncology. So, looking at our results, we asked students to tell us whether or not the OSIG participation inspired them to shadow or conduct research in oncology related fields, particularly radiation and medical oncology. As you can see, 56% of students were inspired to shadow, and 63% of students were inspired to conduct research in medical or radiation oncology due to being a part of the oncology student interest groups. We also asked students to rate whether or not their interest has changed prior to and after joining oncology student interest groups. So, prior to joining oncology student interest groups, you can see many students on average are moderately interested, but we also had some students who are not interested in oncology related careers. However, post membership and joining oncology student interest groups, we saw an increase in the number of students who were very interested and a decrease in the number of students who are not interested in oncology as a future career specialty. And we also have students to rate the overall impact of their student interest group on their medical education. And a near majority rated the impact of student interest groups as very beneficial. And no students rated this as slightly or not beneficial to their medical education. Looking at the question through a more qualitative lens, we asked students to tell us how various activities, such as lunch talks with faculty or coordinated shadowing activities, impacted or enhanced their education. And many students said that these activities actually helped them get greater faculty interaction, interaction with attendings, and an understanding of what radiation oncology looks like as a career, as well as connect content learned through the medical school curriculum and pre-clerkship courses with actual patient care and patient cases. That also further help solidify their understanding of radiation oncology and medical oncology as fields of medicine that could be sought after as a future career. So, in conclusion, it seems like the oncology student interest groups really do help play a role in bridging the gap in early radiation and medical oncology education and exposure and interest for medical students. And providing the structured exposure through mentorship, shadowing, and research, these radiation oncology student interest groups can serve as a critical supplement to our formal medical curriculum and help overcome some of the issues with decreasing interest and decreasing exposure in medical schools across the nation. Thank you so much.